Welcome to 96.5 in RFM, the Egyptian radio show in Australia, Melbourne. Thank you so much for allocating the time tonight.
I am very happy to be back again to Australia.
Yep.
This is my second visit.
Yes.
I came last year to Sydney,
Yes.
and I stayed for 48 hours
Yes.
just to push Egyptians to go and vote for the parliamentarian elections.
Correct.
And it was great, even though it was 48 hours, but
Yes.
I see wonderful
Yeah.
people who are in love with Egypt and
Yeah.
they want to do anything for their home country.
Yeah.
This second time, I came after 1 year, but I managed to put Sydney, Melbourne and Canberra in one visit, only for 9 days, but after Melbourne I'll be heading to New Zealand. This time I came with a huge delegation.
Yes.
Not a huge, but 7 people representing each and every ministry in the Egyptian government that had something to do with Egyptian abroad. So we came, and the reason first of returning to Australia
Yes.
is that I need to talk more to people about what's going on in Egypt.
Cool.
I need to listen to them. It's very important to listen to people.
Yes.
Australia is far away,
Yes, it is.
and I might be the first minister coming to Australia from a long, long time.
Yeah, correct.
But it is really an important matter to talk to Egyptians about what's going on in Egypt, because unfortunately what they receive from the social media
Yes.
and the media
Yes.
is totally wrong.
Yeah.
I didn't send someone from the ministry. I came myself because I want to talk directly to
Yes.
people and to listen to them and to answer all their questions.
Yeah.
In the same time, I am promoting for Egyptian bonds
Yes.
called Biladi, and I am the one who chose the name Biladi,
Biladi, yes.
because Biladi is the first word in our national anthem.
Yes.
So it shows how loyal the Egyptians are for their country. These bonds are made only for Egyptian expats, because when we have this dollar issue, and it's not only in Egypt, it's wild world.
Yes.
Egyptian wanted to help Egypt. So we started to hear about let's have $100 for Egypt or 200, and we are betting or something we don't know anything about. And who are those people
Yes.
who are having these money,
Yep.
and what are they going to do with it? That is when I decided to talk with the central bank
Yes.
and to make this Egyptian bonds
Yep.
so that Egyptian could, yes, give Egypt dollars, but
Yep.
in the same time they have a high interest rate.
Yep.
I did that last year, and it was with the American dollars.
Yep.
And then the Egyptian expats in Europe, they said, wow, we need euros as well. So I did that
Well
as
done.
well. And then when I decided to come to Australia, I
Yes.
said, why not? Let's do it with the Australian dollars.
Yes.
So I spoke with the governor of the central bank, and he
Yes.
told me, listen, you ask for too much now. And I said, no, the Australian, Egyptian, they deserve it.
Yep.
So I did that,
Well done,
and
yes.
I came and I present the product,
Yes.
and I am trying to convince people, first of all, how to buy it,
Yes.
and how it is important to help Egypt.
One of the other things, of course, is the status of what we call in Australia the smarttraveller.gov.au. Now, if you had the chance to catch up with our Foreign Minister, Julie Bishop, of course, how would you go about in changing the current dangerous, and I underline the word dangerous, red code, in fact, the travel status and the harsh content about Egypt, which is on the smarttraveller.gov.au?
Let me tell you that since I came, I made several meetings, not
Yes.
with the Minister of Foreign Service, but I met my counterpart, and I met with the Minister of Multicultural,
Yes.
and I met some parliamentarians as well. I spoke positively about Egypt. It's not about I am selling something which is not really, I'm not being honest, no. I'm talking about positivity in Egypt,
Yes.
and how the security matters and the safety in Egypt
Yes.
is on. It's not only about talking to Australians,
Yep.
it's also talking to Egyptians about that.
Yep.
Yes, many people are telling others that no, don't go to Egypt, please reconsider before going. But this is actually, or unfortunately, with the media. The media can deliver a wrong message or a negative message, an image of Egypt, and then we started to having this thing. Now, with the terrorist attacks, it happened in Egypt, yes,
Yes.
but also it happened in Europe.
Yes, it does.
So
yes.
why we only have this warning
Yes.
only for Egypt,
Yeah.
while others, they do have it?
Yeah, good point.
I attended a very nice concert in St. Catherine
Right.
in Sinai,
Yes.
and it was magnificent, and it was in the middle of the mountains,
Yes.
and there were ministers, parliamentarians,
Yeah.
and everything was safe. It's not
Yes.
because we were there. I walked by myself
Yeah.
without guards
Yes.
from my hotel
Yes.
to the concert area without any disturbance,
Yeah.
without any attacks.
Yeah.
So when I was talking to the Australian ministers and
Yes.
parliamentarians, I was trying to explain that please come to Egypt and send people, journalists,
Yes.
send travel agencies,
Yes.
work with us to learn who is doing that,
Yeah.
and see by yourself. I will not talk like forever. Nobody will believe me.
Right.
Don't believe the media.
I agree.
You go,
Yep.
you visit Sharm el-Sheikh,
Yes.
you visit Hurghada, you
Yes.
visit Alexandria,
Yep.
go to Luxor, to
Yes.
Aswan,
Yep.
and see how people are living.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another issue that I was delivering.
Yes.
Another issue, actually, I was talking about our parliament
Mm.
and how it is a big achievement now in
Yes.
Egypt. Egypt is making a huge progress, but
We
the
can see
problem
that,
is with the media.
Yes.
They only focus on the negative news. But we have a parliament, and we have 90 parliamentarian women out of 500. I'm sorry, I'm a woman. And for
Yes.
the first time, we have 8 parliamentarians representing Egyptian expats.
When I heard that, it's a large number, and I think it's tremendous.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we are doing progress.
Yeah.
Yes, we have obstacles,
Yes, like everyone else.
like everyone else, but even more. We have gone through 2 revolutions.
Yes, yes. Well, I understand that
And
too.
we were under 30 years back
Yes, I understand that
with
too.
lots
yeah.
of ignorance and lots of problems as well. And all these accumulation, it needs time to fix. But how to fix it? It's not only by the president, it's not by the government, it should be done also by the people.
Correct.
That is another reason for me to come
Yeah.
and to talk to people, to tell them that each one of you have a responsibility to promote for his country. And actually, the son of our ambassador,
Yes,
Mohammed Khairat,
yes.
is doing a great job on the
Egyptian
social
street.
media.
Yeah.
And I was so impressed when I saw what he did. See a young man who
Yes.
believes in his country,
Yes.
and he's trying to serve his country without any obstacles.
And he's doing it very successfully.
Very successfully.
Yeah, the website
And
is well
actually,
done.
I'm glad that he's not talking only about positivity.
Yeah, yeah.
He's also
Covering.
reflecting
Yeah.
the negative issues in Egypt. So this gives us all credibility.
No, I congratulate you on that, because one of the things, of course, is that we see in the media is a skewed media. We do live in a Western society, and if we had 1 or 2 incidents that happened in Egypt, it sinks very heavily. I do urge you, I put a request to you, Minister, that when you do go back to Egypt safely, that you give us the opportunity to have an integration or a combination between Australian journalists, a program that exists at the moment with a lot of universities, that it encourages the graduates from journalism to travel to most of the 22 Arabian states. That program is taken up and implemented in Egypt to take those journalists into Egyptian networks, whether it's print or online website contents and all of that, to encourage them and to talk about their experiences and the positive about Egypt. The whole thing is we need good PR. And I know J. Walter Thompson has been, he's won the contract to promote tourism, and I'm sure they're doing an excellent job. But we need another body from the journalism, universities, to take that on board. So
I agree with this great idea. Actually, Australia, for me, it's a discovery, really.
Oh, wow.
I'm discovering Egyptian expats.
Yep.
And I am so proud
Yep.
because whenever I sit with any minister,
Yep.
he praises the Egyptian community because they are very well integrated. The second thing is I see how could we work together, Australians and Egyptians, to help Egypt out. So one of the greatest idea is yours.
Oh, thank
so
you.
I promise that
Yeah.
I will work on that
Done.
with the Minister of Higher Education.
Yes.
So we could do like some kind of protocol between the universities, the Egyptian ones, and the Australian one, and have this exchange. In
Please
fact,
do. You're in that. You know, you've got the capacity, and I'm sure you have the capability. It shows. So let's do something about it.
we'll do that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Cut.